Now, here's the question. Were you born with any financial limitation? Zero, zip, nada. But we become conditioned. So let me share something with you. Breaking free, shatter your financial limitations. Why is there a need to shatter our financial limitations? Like, what is it that we need to break free from, right? And let me share with you just some high-level thinking first. I'm going to do a presentation. We're going to cover some stuff that you've seen before, maybe in a different way. And we're going to cover other stuff that you haven't seen before to create some new frames. And then we're going to do a Q&A. The session today is about 90 minutes, okay, which is our typical training sessions. This one is not going to be any different. So how many of you sense that there are some limitations within you right now? Anybody? Like, I know I have, limitations. I'm aware of them. And I seek personally to just keep breaking free, right? Keep shattering that proverbial financial glass ceiling. I remember many years ago, I wanted to make, $100,000 in a year. And that seemed, when I was starting out, like miles ahead or away from where I was, because my father at the time was making $25,000 a year, and I wanted to make $100,000 a year. And then, I wanted to make, $100,000 in a quarter. That seemed like, oh my God, now that I've reached 100,000 in a year, how do I make like 400,000 a year? And then when I reached that, I said, well, I wonder if I could make $100,000 in a month. I was like, oh my God, in a month? Like, that's rich people stuff. And then I hit that. And then I said, I wonder if I can make $100,000 in a week. I was like, oh my God, that's like, almost $12,500 a day. And I had to break through that. And I did that. And then I said, well, I wonder if it's possible to make $100,000 in a day. I was like, oh my God, I have to really change the paradigm again. And I got it to the point where I've made over $100,000 or $1 million in an hour. So why am I sharing that with you? Because it's all about breaking free from your self-imposed, conditioned, learned paradigms. Now, if Bill Gates or Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey or Ariana Huffington were to listen to me, they go, John, well, we know how to make $1 million in an hour or in a day. That's nothing. What about in a minute? Would you agree with me that whatever the number is, it's all because of what's happening in here, in our own minds? Now, as I was going through those numbers, how many of you felt like, oh, okay, I can see making $100,000, let's say in a year. But as soon as I said 100,000 in a quarter, or 100,000 in a month, or 100,000 in a week, or 100,000 a day, it like took you outside of your zone of comfort. Give me 1 second, because I have to close my window because my gardener is putting me out of my comfort zone. Anyway, so you see where I'm going with this? See, what's comfortable for you right now is not a lot for somebody else, but it's way too much for somebody else, depending on their paradigm, depending on what they've been conditioned to think and feel, and yes, experience, right? So today's session is about, how do you break free? How do you shatter, that financial glass ceiling? And what I can share with you is it's so possible, especially today, to at least get to that next level that's uncomfortable for you right now. And whatever that next level is for you right now scares you a little bit. There's uncertainty around it. There may be fear, there may be doubt, there may be a lack of knowledge and skill, and doable, right? And doable. So today is all about, breaking free and shattering your financial limitations. And before we go there, let's talk. All right, let's have a frank talk between you and I and everybody in our community, our tribe, about limitations, right? And the first question that we want to ask ourselves, right, is there an abundance of money out there in the world, whether it's cash, gold, real estate, valuations of, is there an abundance out there, right? So let's first have a similar baseline of understanding and agreement. Now, if there's an abundance out there, then the questions that we should be asking is, what do I need to think? What do I need to feel? What do I need to do to get some of it in here, right, into my account? So from wherever it is out there, in here, right? So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All right. So money is an idea, right? And so we want to talk about this idea of money and ask yourself a question, right? Humans, us, Homo sapiens specifically, we've been wandering on this blue planet here for about 200,000 years in Homo sapien form, right? I know we had Cro-Magnon man. I know we had a variety of different, species of humans, but in this form, about 250 years, 200,000 years, right? Did we always have this concept of money? Go back in time, right? Did we always have a concept of money? Yes or no? No, right? So the evolution of this idea was, when I was a leader of a tribe 200,000 years ago, we foraged, we hunted, we fished, we ate, we shared. That was it. Everybody had different roles. There was no need for money, right? We were basically focusing on survival and safety. Agree? I want to make sure we build a foundation of understanding first. So what happened? So let's say that there was a tribe down there, another tribe down there, and let's say my daughter married the son of that tribal leader over there, and they formulated like their own village over there. And let's say that, village was really good at hunting, and my village was really good at foraging in the forest, and this village was really good at another skill. Is it possible at some point we just said, hey, I'll trade you some of my fish for some of your berries, and I'll trade you some of my berries for some of the baskets that you are great at weaving in your tribe. And then we decided that, hey, you're really good at that. I'll give you 3 of these for 2 of those and 1 of those. And by the way, I'll take a pumpkin too. Isn't that the beginning of bartering and trading? And then what did we do? As we started to become bigger and bigger tribes that move further and further away from each other, we developed this value system, right? Of, 3 fish for 2 baskets of berries and 4 things that I need to cut wood. Whatever, I'm just making this up. So we developed this idea around value first, and then we said, okay, let's create some systems where, I can give you seashells or chocolate for grains and for this or that. And there was a value system. And then we created these coins that represented this value system. And I can give you this like 1 copper coin for 3 fish. And then as we move further and further away, and coins became very, very heavy to transport on the horse and horse and carriage or whatever the case is, we created these dollar bills, right? These currency. And then when we traveled far and far away, we created this electronic means of exchange. So would you agree, based on my description, first, would you agree with it? Right? And then second question is, Money is nothing more than a means of exchange between people, companies, governments, isn't it just a means of exchange? Oh, okay. So I have X, I want Y. How many of these Ys am I going to give you for this X? Because the value system has already been created in the marketplace. So if money is a concept and an idea, which is an exchange of value, that means that there's more than enough of it. And you need to just figure out, how do I create a really good means of exchange with my knowledge, my skills, my tools, my resource, my product, and my services, and trade it, exchange with enough people that they want to give me money? Does it have to be any more difficult than that? Now, there's a couple of caveats, right? And a couple of the caveats are, how good is your product, service, knowledge, or skill compared to Mary's or Joe's or Sally or Harry's? Because it's the marketplace that determines value. The marketplace determines value, right? So how good are you? How rare are you? How easy is it to replace you, your product, your service? Are you a commodity or a rarity? Which one? So that's the foundation for us to understand money and commerce first. So money in all its forms is nothing more than a means of exchange between people, tribes, companies, or countries. We all in agreement, say I in the chat. Right? Right. So I in the chat. So I'm going to share with you the people in my tribe that have gotten this have gone on to make lots of money. Now, as you know, I'm not selling you anything except the concept. Here's Bill Thomas. The first year I doubled my income from the previous year. The second year, within the first 6 months, doubled my income again. He got it. He sells insurance. Joni Sanderson, social worker that didn't think she was worth anything in the marketplace, so she gave away her social services for free. In her 60s, now makes $75,000 a year, raised her children, 6 children on a widow's salary or widow's pension of $12,000 a year. She got that it was an inner game. Oh, Grace Reynolds, many of you have seen her. She was on the Brainathon, right? She was giving away her volunteer work for free. Now people are paying her big dollars. She made $5,000 plus an extra $2,000 retainer. Why? She changed the inside game. Oh, not enough? Ishan, I've taken my business online with the resource I had a complete nationwide lockdown out of my country 5 weeks ago, but my adaptability and focus on my work has actually doubled my monthly income. And in fact, I see the potential redouble over the next 5 months. What he did was not different. How he thought about what he did was different. Asif Khan in Toronto, Canada, never made more than like 100 grand. Started making $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 a month. Okay, selling. Robin, you've seen her, on the Brainathon possibly, never had enough money, went through a divorce, didn't think she was good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. This was last year. She sent me this, saved over $500,000, and the sale of my rental had almost $750,000 came. I put my son through college. Live this out without fear for the first time in my 62 years. Is this a change? Right? Asif Khan never made more than $50,000 for his dental practice, changed his thinking about it, his paradigm changed, did $240,000 a month and continued that until he sold his dental practice. Justine Drummond, we have picked up over 15 new clients. I've done my best month ever. There is still another week and I've done over $300,000 in the month selling beauty supplies. Dr. Pratishka Gandhi, very excited to announce a win day for the first online Healthy Heart coaching client. Doctor practicing face-to-face, changed her paradigm, did it online, got her first coaching client. Steve Hockman, personal trainer, your program you're in, generated additional $18,364 a monthly net income for his personal training gym. So anybody want to achieve some of those? I want to show you those over and over and over again because A, I want to show you it's possible. B, I want to know who wants to shatter their financial glass ceiling. Right? Who wants to shatter their financial glass ceiling? They want financial limitations. So the question is, how do we develop it? Right? So you and I developed our financial limitations because of our parents. How much did they earn? What was their dialogue around money? Did they ever talk about money to you, about earning, managing, investing, protecting debt? Right? What about your teachers? They said, hey, follow this career and you can maybe do this, which comes along with it, you know, an income. School, friends, parents, television, and yes, of course, real life experiences. Now, here's the question. Were you born with any financial limitation? Zero, zip, nada. But we become conditioned, which means that we develop a map of reality of possibility. Let me repeat. We develop a map of reality of possibility for us based on the environment and the experiences that we were in. But we watch television and we watch, you know, Hollywood or Bollywood or Australia would or Denmark would, successful people, we go, I want that. But the hidden part of us says, but I'm conditioned to have this. I am trained in my environment, okay, to have this, even though I want that. And this happens in two different parts of our brain. The vision, the goals, the dreams, the aspirational side of our brain, okay, the Einstein part of our brain can see a better future for us. But the conditioned part of our brain that is programmed into the habitual part of our brain and the striatum specifically and our hippocampus, right? The seed of our consciousness and our conditioning are conditioned. The map of that reality, okay, keeps us seeing, thinking, feeling, and behaving in ways consistent with our internal map of reality versus our internal map of the future or vision. Are you with me so far? All right, I am doing a sermon today for you. So many of you have seen this before, but it's the beginning of breaking free, right? So if we want to achieve a goal, financial goal, the lifestyle that comes with it, that's outside, bigger than our current hidden self-image or our current hidden, you know, feeling of what I'm worth, or our current self-esteem, right? How we hold ourselves. Then we have hopes and dreams and we have a vision, but the other side of us is going to keep us stuck in our own paradigm. Agree? So what happens when your vision, your goals, the amount of money you want to make and the lifestyle that comes with, and the choice freedom and financial freedom and fun freedom that comes with it is outside of your current conditioned self-image? Right? What happens? I mean, isn't there like this motivates me, but this holds me back? So I want this, I see this, I can taste that, but I just keep coming back to this. That's what keeps us in our financial limitations, right? But then what if, you know, we have a vision and goals and a desire to want more, to have more, to have a greater, better lifestyle where we can be more charitable, more giving, more of this, more. But we have limiting beliefs, patterns that have been reinforced because of our parents, teachers, experiences, environment. And we have limiting beliefs. And then we have a story that reinforces those beliefs because it's easy to reinforce a pattern that we've had for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then create and reinforce a new story and beliefs, which are nothing more than what? Patterns that were activated, patterns that were created, patterns that were reinforced. Let me repeat. Patterns that were activated through experience, through reading, through teachers, through our parents, through our jobs, through our friends, through their parents. Patterns activated, patterns created, patterns reinforced. And so then we tell stories as to why these make sense. Well, the reason I believe that is this. Look at my evidence, right? We formulate evidence to support our beliefs. Well, why not create beliefs and then find new evidence? So, right, so limiting beliefs in the story holds us back, okay? Then we've got these things called, emotions. And I have a fear, like, what if I go after this? What if I let go of what I'm comfortable, maybe miserable and comfortable? What if I get out of my comfort zone, and what if I fail? What if you reject me? What if I'm disappointed? What if I disappoint you? What if you don't love me because I failed? What if I'm embarrassed and trying my best and failing, and then I'm going to reinforce that I'm not good enough or worthy of the success? Then what? You did know that this was part acting class 2 today, right? Like, I'm not just going to sit here or stand here and just like read shit off of my screen. I'm going to play this full out for you. All right. So now we have this thing called emotions, the energy in motion. When I go out of my comfort zone, and there's a chance that I might fail, that I might be embarrassed, that I might succeed and then fail. Why am I going to work so hard? Don't you know the market's crashing again? I just worked so damn hard for the last 10 years and the freaking market's crashing. Why would I want to do that? Interest rates are at 5%. The market's crashing. I'm working so hard. What if? So we got this part of our brain, Einstein, that dreams and hopes and wishes and plans. And this part of our brain says, don't you dare. You might fail again. You might be embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged. So now I have these emotions, dopamine, reward, positive, possibility, fear. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what if? Now I have this pulling and pushing part of me that if I don't know how to navigate through the emotions, if I don't have the knowledge and skills of how to make more money, how to manage it, how to invest it, if I don't have the skills of how to manage my emotions, it makes no difference what vision or goals I want to have, because I'm going to have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. There's going to be a lot of freaking movement in place. I'm going to move 10, 20, 30, 50 feet forward, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet backwards, 10, 20, 30 foot forward, 20 foot back. And there's this consistent, almost like it's an internal and external fight, even though I may have the knowledge and skill of what I need to do. Even though, like, I've read so much about this, like, I know what I need to do to manage my money better, but I'm not doing it. I know I should take a little bit of every paycheck and put it towards, some kind of investment, but I don't do it. So I want to help you understand, what's going on and what to do. And so let's talk about, a little formula that we want to start thinking about. And tell me if you agree with this. Your mindset, my mindset, plus my skill set, right? Skill set in my brain, my emotions, and my behaviors, right? So what I do, when I do it, how I'm going to do it, plus, right, taking consistent action is what's going to create predictable financial success. Agree or agree? So I have to get better. I practice this every day, as many of you know. I get better at upgrading and reinforcing positive, constructive, empowering mental and emotional patterns every day. Every day I upgrade on upgrading my skills. Every day I focus on upgrading my skill sets in the areas that are required to earn, manage, invest, protect, and use debt as leverage. Those are skills. Every day I focus on what am I doing today? Every day I have a plan for the day, a plan for the week, a plan for the month, a plan for the quarter, plan for the year. Now, my plans are in pencil because if there's a better way, I'll adapt. Right? So if you want predictable financial success, then these are the things that we want to be getting better at, right? So first, it's the awareness. What am I doing? What am I not doing? Why? What should I be doing? When? How? What should I be doing? When and how? All right, so now we are going to take some of our creativity and add some structure to it. So mindset, right, is about having an attitude of growth, right? Mindset is around creating the right beliefs that are aligned with the results that we want. Agreed? Mindset is around managing my emotions, and mindset's about having a perspective that is allowing me to expand versus a perspective that keeps me narrowly focused and maybe even contracting. And then for my skill set, what's the knowledge that I need to achieve the goal that I want? All right. What are the skills required? You want to earn more money, you need to have the skills to earn more money, whether you're an investor in real estate, the stock market. You need to know what happens. What should I do as the stock market's going up? What should I do if the stock market goes down? Same with real estate. You need to develop habits that are success-based habits. Now, if you don't know what they are, well, that's where you need to go to the knowledge piece. Well, I need to know, what are they? Right? And then we want to move to the action set, right? So then it's, what should I do to achieve financial success today, this week, this month? What are the strategies, the what to do? What are the specific tactics of how to do it? So let me give you an example. Let's say I have a vision, a goal that I want to lose 10 pounds of fat in the next 30 days, or let's say 60 days. Okay. Right. So my vision is to lose 10 pounds of fat in the next 60 days. What could I do, ladies and gentlemen? What could I do? I could walk. Great. What else could I do? So I could drink more water. Sure. I could eat better. Right. So I could exercise is what? Eat better is what? Could I sleep more regularly so that I balance my hormones, right? And my circadian rhythm, which affects leptin, could I reduce my stress so that I manage my hormones? So if I say I'm going to exercise, I'm going to sleep better, and I'm going to eat better, that's what I could do. Now, that's not enough. How many days a week am I going to exercise? And what kind of exercise am I going to do? So now I have the what exercise. Now I can walk 3 days a week for 30 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 9 a.m., right? I'm going to intermittent fast for nutrition 3 days a week until 11 a.m. And I'm going to reduce my caloric intake, and and with exercising a little bit more and reducing my caloric intake a little bit more, right? Then I will be able to methodically release 3,500 calories every week, more than I use, which means that over 8 weeks, I can release 8 pounds if I just do that. If I sleep, 6 to 7 or 8 hours a day and I regulate my hormones, that should do what? allow me to activate the hormones required for weight release versus the hormones that are activated like cortisol and epinephrine that hold on, and leptin that want to hold on to the fat. Oh, so now I have what? Now I have how, and now I have the tactical details of my plan to do it. Let me ask you a question, everyone. If you were committed to releasing 10 pounds of fat and you followed the what, the how, and when, the way I just laid it out, is there anybody here, okay, and I know there's going to be anomalies, that will not release the weight they want off? Right? So whatever the strategies are, whatever the tactics are, and when you add the timelines to it, and then you discover what resources do I need, now I have the mindset, the skill set, and the action set. And let me ask you a question. Can I use this for any goal? Yes, or it's a yes or yes question. There is no allowed in this answer, period. So you want to make more money? Great. What's the attitude you need to have? What are the beliefs you need to believe? What are the emotions you need to manage? What's the perspective you need to have about your present and your future? What's the skill set you need? Okay, what's the knowledge you need? What's the skills you need? What are the habits that you need? And then what are the strategies, tactics, timelines, and resources you need? How many of you agree that if you just followed this, and I stopped here right now, and you just went to implement this, you would be able to begin shattering, okay, your limitations? Now, there's a little bit more detail, so I'm not going to leave you hanging here, but I want to give you the formulas that I know for 41 years have worked, not only for me, but tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, all right? So you want to follow this to make more money, you're going to be on the right path. So let's have a little bit of fun. Which mindset category do you fit into right now? Are you in a scarcity mindset right now of there's not enough for everyone? Are you in the mindset of there's just enough for me? Are you in the mindset that there's more than enough for me and others? Or are you in an abundance mindset that I can give away and share what I know and I have? Which mindset are you in right now? And there is the good or bad one, but let's start from somewhere, right? Right, so abundance, right? So abundance means, right, that there's more than enough for all. We already established earlier, there's more than enough money. So if there's more than enough money, are you giving some of yours away? If you're not giving yours away, then ask yourself, how come? Are you in a security mindset or a scarcity mindset, right? So just think about it, right? But nature abhors a vacuum, and nature works like a boomerang, and you can't outgive the universe of abundance. You want more love, give more love. You want more money, give some away. You want more kindness, give some away. Whatever it is that you want more of, put it into flow. And there's a big difference between giving and trading. Trading is commerce. Giving, because you know that there's abundance, is having faith in an intelligence that is much greater than we are individually. All right, so think about this. And again, I just want you to catch yourself where you are, because awareness is what gives you choice. Choice is what can give you freedom, right? So if you're in scarcity, you've been conditioned into scarcity. If you're in security, you've been conditioned into security. Go to school, get a job, get some security there. Then I'm secure now. Really? Well, not based on what's happened in the last 20 some odd years, right? Corporations don't give you security. You know what gives you security? This gives you security. Get your mindset right, get your skill set right, get your behaviors right. You write your own ticket. No matter what happens out there, if you've got what's going on in here and in here right, I could drop you off anywhere in the world and you will be able to take care of yourself, right? So security doesn't happen out there. Security happens in here. So we want to upgrade our mindset. We want to upgrade it to have an abundance mindset. So there are 4 key abundance mindset attributes. Abundance beliefs, right? Beliefs drive perspectives and behaviors. Let me explain. If you believe that you're only worth X amount per hour, per day, per week, or per month, can anybody tell me what your brain does with that belief? Does your brain allow all the incoming information and potential in through your eyes or ears, or does it delete and distort everything that's not resonant with your beliefs? Makes it your reality. So does that mean that we do not see what's out there? We only see things that resonate with what's in here? Whoa. So if I believe that I'm worth $10 an hour, or 100, or 1,000, or 100,000, or 1,000,000, then I'm going to see the stuff out there that's in harmony and resonance and coherence with that belief. Whoa. So my brain's actually acting almost like a projector and a receiver of the information that resonates with what my brain is automatically looking for. It is the reticular cells, yes, but also there's a place in the brain called the thalamus. And yes, we see the world as we are, not as it is. So let's have a little bit of fun. Regardless of what you believe you're worth right now, regardless of what you're earning right now, could I set a financial goal and then develop the beliefs required to achieve that goal about my worth and the possibility, and then I acquire the skills and the habits to achieve that goal? So if it's true that beliefs drive perspective and behavior, if I change my beliefs, does that mean I will change what I see? Whoa. When I discovered this at 19, my life changed. And then when I discovered how to do it, my results changed. And that's how I went from making $1.65 an hour to $180,000 in my first 18 months selling real estate at 20. I changed what was going on here. And back then I told you 100,000 a year was like my father made 25 grand as a cab driver. I made 4 times more than my dad did. And my dad still thought I was doing illegal stuff, which I wasn't. Totally above board. Right? So abundance belief. So let's have a little bit of fun. Obviously, what's in the winning game of money programs and the inner sizes, are they not handcrafted, empowering, powerful beliefs that when you listen to them, when you emotionalize them, and they impress into the subconscious mind, they override the old beliefs over time? Oh, is that what they do? Yeah, through the affirmations, the visualizations, the subliminal messages that are there for your subconscious mind to create the patterns through embedded commands and suggestions around powerful beliefs. Do we change from the inside out? The nucleus, okay, the nucleus is what we're working on. Let's see if we can come up with a belief around money for you, either around your self-worth, around your skills. I have more than enough knowledge and skills, or I have the knowledge and skills to be able to create the amount of income and wealth I desire. Now, we want to write affirmations as if they are real right now, as opposed to, I am willing to learn, which could be another one also. We can do some bridging of gap affirmations or declarations or promise. You know, you can write a belief, right, in the form of an affirmation, but you can also write a declaration. I promise and declare that I am now doing everything necessary to fulfill my financial goals and dreams. I am now doing, not I'm going to do, I can do, I wish, I hope. Everything that you write should be in the affirmative, as if it's real right now, even if it's not. Why? Because when you take something that is maybe not real or familiar right now, like a Hollywood script, that's not real, but a Hollywood actor practices a role over the course of a day, a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, they become the role, and they could play that role because they've changed their ability to play the character and they've changed their identity. Is it possible that we could take an affirmation or declaration or promise, and in the focusing on that affirmation, declaration, or promise, and then following it up with the behavior, we can practice, and in the practice, we make permanent patterns, and patterns that become permanent and reinforced become habitual patterns. So now, once they go from conscious to subconscious, isn't that what our brain now is looking for in the physical world to do what? To reinforce the pattern and delete and distort everything else? Does that make sense, everyone? So we want to start with self-talk. Self-talk is either the talk that we have in our head or something that we write out that then we consciously start talking in those ways. Now, if someone says to you, do you know how to make, $1 million a year? No, I don't know how to make $1 million a year. And I am so willing to learn and apply what I learned. Oh, good. Now I have a bridge. So now instead of saying, no, I don't, and reinforcing your brain pattern, continue the language pattern to no, I don't, but it's a goal. And I'm developing the beliefs, the habits, the perspectives, and the behaviors to make that my reality right now. Oh, wow. Now I've just given myself an embedded command. Self-talk is where it starts. Awareness is actually where it starts. Awareness of where there may be obstacles, and then deliberate conscious evolution of yourself. Deliberate conscious evolution leads to deliberate subconscious patterns. Deliberate subconscious patterns reinforce themselves, don't need you there. So first you develop the pattern, then the pattern will develop you. Let me repeat. First, you develop the pattern consciously through effort. Then the pattern that you develop will develop you. So the key is making sure we have our vision, our goals, right? And we have the mindset, the skill set, and the action sets to align with that, right? What about an abundant or an abundance self-image? Don't we have to see ourselves living, sharing, giving, becoming, having, experiencing what it is that we want versus what it is that we currently have? Now, what happens when we look at current results, we tend to repeat the patterns of what we're looking at, unless we say, I accept my current reality because of my past knowledge, skills, belief. I accept that. And I surrender to it. I release, I let go. I forgive myself. And here's what I'm focusing on every single day to create. Now I'm creating a bridge between here and there. Now I'm seeing myself in whether it's the lifestyle, the cars, the charities, the time off, the relationship, the health. I'm investing the time in the future, and I'm letting go of the attachment to the past. I accept it. I honor it. I respect it. I thank it. I surrender to it. I appreciate it. And I'm turning the chapter. I'm turning the chapter deliberately. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. For whatever you've done right, John, for whatever you've not done right, for all the mistakes you've made that you're embarrassed about, ashamed of, guilty of, I forgive you. And I'm turning the chapter now, and I'm focusing on what I want. I want this kind of lifestyle, this much income, this much freedom, this kind of this amount of that, That's what I'm focusing on creating. Thank you. Chapter change. It's not, I'm not forgetting it. I'm not honoring it. I'm just turning the chapter. I'm creating the new one. I'm taking another part of the painting and I'm starting to paint the new painting. Right? No blame, no shame, no guilt, no justification. I accept you, John. I accept you with all of the imperfections, the perfect imperfections. I accept, and I'm ready to grow, and I am. Right? There you go, Lorna. And listen, I just want to make sure we're clear. This isn't about jets, right? But it's about an abundant self-image for yourself in every area of your life, right? What about an abundance-based money story? What about an abundance-based money story? If there's more than enough out there, then why not create an abundance-based money story, not a scarcity-based money story, not a limiting money story, not a security-based money story. If I'm in an abundance mindset, I'll have security. Right? So an abundance-based money story, and I'll show you, you already have some of this, right? Right, so your money story, as many of you are already into that section or have done that section in the Winning Game of Money program, right, is it relieves your beliefs, conditioning, and behaviors around money. That's what a money story reveals when you look at what is my money story. So since you and I were not born with a money story, we weren't born with a self-image, we weren't born with beliefs, right? We were conditioned through the imprinting, modeling, and experiential years. Most of it happened between, the age of birth and like 12 years young. Is it possible just to create my own story and my own new reality? Yeah, that's what this is all about. That's what you were given that part of your brain to do. And stop living out of this fear-based part of your brain. A conditioned part of your brain wants to keep you in the comfort zone to conserve energy and for safety and security, just in case you fail or embarrassed or ashamed, or you're like, I've failed more times than most of you will try. And I'm good with it because I fail forward. Fail, learn, do again. Fail, learn, well, not do again the same thing. Fail, learn, do something a little bit different, right? So what we want to do, right, is really start to create our own money story. And your money story is not around your current income, expenses, assets, debt, or your net worth. That's not your money story, right? It's the conscious and subconscious beliefs and story you tell us about what money means to you and what money says about you. When you buy a car, does it say something about who you are, your values, your beliefs, your income sometimes? When you buy a home or a car or an airplane ticket, or what kind of food you shop for, right? If you had an abundance of money, would your decisions about money be different? Yeah, of course. So the key right now is, right, to understand that you also need to create abundant habits around earning, managing, and investing money. If there is a money game to be played, and I'll show you two other pieces of this afterwards, but there's habits for earning more money, right? There's habits for managing money properly, and there's habits for investing money. Now, your habits may just not be empowering habits, which means we just need to know what they are, and we need to adjust and change, right? Is this making sense, everyone, before I go any further? I got a few more slides, and we're going to go to Q&A, right? So do you know what your money story is? How many of you have done the exercise in the Winning Game of Money program? You know what your money story is, and do you know your new money story? Because here's like an example of creating a deliberate money story. You can use this as an example, or there are many more examples in the Winning Game of Money program. I record my money and life story. I listen to it probably 3-4 times a week. All right. So I am so happy and grateful for the fact that I am more than smart and good enough to achieve my financial goals of earning blank, not Ernie blank, but earning. My net worth is now blank. Now, if you wrote down your financial goals of earning blank, whether it's this year, this month, or this week, and your net worth, which is the amount of assets you have when you take out what you owe, that's part of where we go. And then now you write out, live in this home, drive this car, be with my children, invest more time traveling with my significant other, devote some time to the charities, the church, the synagogue, the causes that touch my heart and soul. You can continue it now with experiences. Now, how many of you agree that if this is what you already believed, you'd already have achieved your financial goals? Yes or yes? And maybe even more. So the question then becomes, if this was a Hollywood script that Meryl Streep or Barbara Streisand or Russell Crowe or Steven Spielberg gave you and said, I want you to remember this script and be this script. I want you to rehearse it. And I'll give you $1 million. How many of you could recite this by heart if you had 3 or 6 months to recite it by heart? Anybody? Great. Let me share something with you that you may like to hear, you may not like to hear. You will start thinking and feeling and behaving in ways aligned with this script when this script becomes more real than your current reality. Your current script is your current reality creator. When you create a new reality in here at the subconscious level that's greater than your current subconscious level script, that's when your behaviors will follow automatically. Up until that time, it's effort, effort, effort to get to that. So when would now be a time to start creating and reinforcing your new script? Like your life depends on it. Anything less than that, you're interested in breaking free. You're not committed. Your subconscious and my subconscious is 10,000 times more powerful than my or your conscious desires, hopes, goals, and dreams. The power center, the little hinge that swings the whole thing open, is the subconscious pattern, the beliefs, perspectives, paradigms, and story. People ask me, why do you still look at your exceptional life blueprint and listen to Inner Size after 41 years? And you know what the answer is? Because I'm scared shitless to stop. Not for a second do I want old patterns to creep in. And let me share something with you that you may not be aware of. Patterns don't go away in the brain. Habitual, negative, addictive, and destructive patterns don't go away in the brain. The pattern is still there. It just gets deactivated. It just gets deactivated. But the pattern that's been reinforced for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years is still there. So what we want to do is deliberately create and reinforce and keep reinforcing the patterns that are positive, constructive, and empowering. That's my choice. That is my choice. That is your choice. Many of you know in September of 2020, I made a commitment for my 59th birthday, that for my 60th birthday, which was September of 2021, I was going to take 1 year off of refined sugar. Now, why would I want to take a year off of refined sugar? And the answer is because I was a sugar addict. And so I did 30 days off of cookies at night or frozen vegan yogurt at night. Every night I would have it's a little bit, and maybe sometimes more than a little bit, but every night. And it was one of the things that I have challenged myself with: 30 days off, 100 days off. And so I said, I'm going to do a year now. And I did one whole year. And even on my birthday in September of 2021, my wife and my sister and my brother bought me these things that I love. And I said, nope. Now that I have been off of refined sugar for a year, there is no way in hell or heaven that I am having refined sugar again. Why? Because I'm a sugar addict. So for addicts, 1 is too many and 10 is not enough. So I still have not had any refined sugar since September of 2020. Why? Because I spent a year creating and reinforcing a pattern. Like, I don't want to go back to the old pattern. I did the same thing, by the way, in September of 2009. I was on a friend's yacht for a week. We drank way too much wine. I said, that's it. I'm going to take a year off. I took a year off and I haven't had a drink since September 2009 because it was a disempowering pattern for me. All right. So once you create the pattern will create you. So you and I can be deliberate, and then let's follow a process. Okay. Is this good stuff for you? And that's what I'm going to keep. You're going to hear me saying, I think, till the day I die. If you're interested, you can do it. It's easy and convenient. If you're committed and ready, you'll do whatever it takes. I'm the type of person, if I'm going to set a goal, before I go forward, I ask myself, John, you love to set goals, interested or committed? Am I going to do the work required to develop and reinforce the pattern or not? Am I going to do the work to let all of this go and create this? Am I going to do the work to develop the beliefs? Am I going to do the work to upgrade my knowledge and my skills to match the level of success that I want? Am I going to do the work to change my identity to match the destiny? Am I going to do the work to change the identity so it matches the destiny I'm choosing? Right? So if the answer is yes, you are in the right place.
Hey, this is John, and if you liked that video, watch the next video because it is packed with things that you can do right now to achieve success way faster than ever before.